I somehow managed to grow my bank the 50 billion gold, including upgrades, buffs, cosmetics, a lot of things. And I made a bank video earlier this year and I got a lot of comments like, how is that even possible? How'd you even do this? Right? Because I don't even play this game as much as some other people. And there's a lot of players that are way richer than me, and I'll probably never reach that level of like wealth. And that's okay. But I want to talk about how I managed to grow my bank, somebody who works like a full-time job. I am happily married, do other things outside of this, and I was able to grow my bank to what it is today. And I'm really, really proud of it because I was actually going through my notes here in the bottom right where how much money I had when I started making videos back in 2024, and my total value at the time was 11 bill, which again is a huge feat, especially back then when it wasn't easy to get as much cash and stuff like that. And I've been really just thinking about like how I've been changing my kind of my methods and like the methodology and like the little thought process when it comes to like building my second digital life, you know what I mean? And the way I did that mostly was by mixing up the content I do. There's a lot of money makers in this game. You could do PVM, you could do skilling, you could do hardcore grinding, just going for the meta stuff. Like right now, it's grinding high in rage a masket for the best in slot Tomb King's armor, or doing like high in rage Telos for the weapon drops and such. And there's a lot of different methods in the game, right? My philosophy is essentially you just want to do the method that works for you at the time, right? I love doing high in range basket. It's a really fun boss. It's incredibly engaging. It's one of the rare pieces of group content that you can do in the game, and you get some funny moments just by doing that content. The big problem for me is that sometimes I just don't want to interact with people. I don't want to find a team. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to rely on nobody. I don't want to deal with none of that. And so a lot of times I just ended up doing it, right? And a big problem with that is that like you just end up not making as much cash. But the thing is this, like if I didn't feel like doing a masket, I'd rather do something I enjoy doing in that little bit of time that I have to play rather than forcing myself to shovel a masket's giant furry tail into my mouth and still not give me any drops. So I'd much rather go through that pain of like being poor for a little bit and enjoying the little bit of playtime I do have and make a little bit of money on the side doing something else rather than just like force feeding the best GP per hour down my throat. And it's honestly accumulated a lot of cash over the years. Like I said, started doing sliver farms from Zamorak Dungeon, and that has been a lot of fun. I did like the grind for Dagon of Kings, and that was really fun when you're either tribe raiding it or doing the poison build for it, and that was really cool. I really enjoy stuff like that. Or learning new bosses. I'm recently learning how to do Telos, and that's been not necessarily the most fruitful grind, but I know that eventually when I get better at it, I will make more money from it. Just stacking in rage and just getting higher in rage kills and such. So that is always fun in itself. But I just decided, like, you know what? If I don't feel like doing this moneymaker, like this grind at the moment, I'm not gonna do it. There's no reason to. There's no one pointing a gun to my head telling me I gotta do it. I'm gonna do what I feel like doing, and the meta be damned. I'm gonna do what I need to make sure I enjoy the 2 hours I have that play this video game. As I'm doing laps of agility hunting a core. It's sometimes ironic, but you never know. I like gambling. Oh, maybe we'll get something here while we run around. And then another huge thing was I stopped bank standing. There's a ton of times when you log in the game, you're not really sure what you want to do. And for me, I was bank standing a lot. I would log in, I'd have no idea, like, do I want to work on trim? Do I want to work on comp at the time? Do I want to work on maxing my skills? And I'll just be sitting at the bank. And like it starts with 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Next thing you know, I'm lobbied. You know what I mean? So I decided, like, you know what? If I'm gonna bank stand, I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna find an AFK moneymaker for me that works, and it doesn't have to be really good cash. At the time, it was woodcutting. I started doing like my woodcutting runs, and I would start doing like elder trees and stuff like that. That was necessarily the best XP per hour, but it would make me some cash because elder logs at the time were like 10k a pop. It was crazy, and so I just started picking out something that worked out for me, and then I eventually got 120 woodcutting because I just couldn't figure out why I do it many times, for a lot of the times, and then I started doing like the God Wars Dungeon 1 grind. Started doing that because I was AFK with the gear that I had at the time, and it was a lot easier than trying to figure out something and just bank standing. Because when you're bank standing, dude, you're not even making any money. Like, I'm not even fletching. I'm not like making any pots, not high oaking, nothing. I'm not making any cash at the moment, right? And I'm not trying to min max, right? I'm not telling you that you gotta go ahead and do these things and make a bunch of cash so it slowly compounds over time. I'm just saying that, like, if you are finding yourself bank standing a lot, just find an AFK moneymaker. There's a ton of them. Make one preset, make it be like archaeology, wood cutting, fishing, dag kings, whatever works for you, and just do it. Just go there until you feel like going somewhere else. And then especially now with auras being gone, not being tied to like, oh shit, I got a whole hour on aura. I might as well just keep grinding it out, right? Just leave when you're done. Just leave when you're done. Or like when you don't feel like going there anymore. It helps a lot. Well, just maybe you get a drop when you're going ahead and go sitting at Krill or you're doing Arbital or something. You never know. It helps a lot. If I was lower leveled, I would definitely just be doing archaeology, sitting at that first tier thing, getting those third age items that come out of that little pile, because that is a lot of cash that just ends up sitting there. And you never know. It just adds up and it's nice, and you just might pay for supplies or something else, or might just slowly grow into like a gear upgrade. You never know. For me, I ended up making a bunch of cash from just doing Rex Matriarchs. I camped the Rex Matriarchs. I got a bunch of hearts. I got a bunch of other items and stuff like that, and I was able to get a good chunk of cash. And that eventually paid for my Tectonic upgrade, and I was able to do other bosses and or get better overloads or better potions at the time, and it just really helped. And then I ended up with a big thing, especially last year. This was huge for me last year, was timing. So a lot of times when items and updates come into the game, a mascot is a great example. Was when a mascot came out, I made sure that I had every requirement for a mascot because I really wanted to get a drop on release. A lot of items on release are really expensive for a number of reasons, right? People don't know how rare they're going to be, how common they might be, how strong they're going to change the meta, how they might influence other items, and how other items could be affected from this. Nobody knows. It is the beautiful effect of the unknown effects that an item will introduce into the meta. You never know. It doesn't have to be something crazy like a brand new best in slot gear. Like when I got a great example is I got a Devourer's Arm Guard on release. Insane to be able to get a weapon on release because nobody knows how strong a weapon's gonna be on release. And I sold that bad boy immediately. 4.5 bill just for that. 6 months later, same item, 200 mil right now. Brother, the sucker that bought that thing on release has got to be punching his wife at home. It's insane. But it's just like the thing that you never know, right? And I definitely wasn't going to buy an item release, but I'll definitely sell it to the sucker that bought it. But biggest thing, right? This doesn't have to be best in slot items. It could be like something like Masterwork Mage that came when it first came out. When it first came out, nobody knew how good it was going to be. It ended up being pretty strong. Still sits in the meta today. It's still pretty useful and relevant, especially if you're getting your foot in the door for PVM. But it ended up only dropping in price a lot. Like it was like 900 mil at one point for the rope top. It's like 500 mil now, literally half the cost. But because I made it early, right? I was able to profit off of that. And then there's a lot of other things that come in the future. So I pay a lot of attention to like the updates coming out, which are on Mondays, and I just see what I can do. And like, for example, the core, the Dark Onyx core yesterday when that was released, and when they took out the Wilderness Flash events, they no longer come in through the Wilderness Flash events. They only now come in through Wilderness activities. And so I was able to get myself a Dark Onyx core on release by doing Black Salamanders, and that was then a hot patch today where now you just don't get anything. Like you don't get any chance of it. So it's kind of crazy because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing Wilderness Agility to see if I get any more procs at that because you know it's still at high value. It might go up from the 400 mil that it costs currently, and you never know. And then lastly was merching and investing. I've made literally billions of GP and I've lost hundreds of millions of GP merching a lot of different items over the last couple years. A lot of the times, though, it wasn't something crazy. I was making like maybe like 1 mil here, 800K here, and it was small, but it compounded because it's just happening in the background. I go to the Grand Exchange to go buy some food. I go to the Grand Exchange to go buy some supplies or something. Let me go see if I can find a margin on an item. You never know. So I'll buy something low, I'll buy something high, sell something low, see how much the buy sell prices are, and see what I can do to make some money off of that. Now, sometimes I have hit it big. There was at one point, for like a month straight, I was able to flip items for buying it for 500 mil, and then I would sell them for 900 mil. It was insane. I did that for an entire month straight, and I made 4 billion gold off of that alone. So it just comes down to a little bit of luck and a little bit of consistency. Because I was actively looking for margins, I was actively looking for some things, and it just happened over time. But I couldn't have done that if I didn't do the other steps, right? Of just instead of bank standing, I went ahead and go grinded some cash out. So I had some money to flip. I had a little bit of money to do these things, and then I was able to go and do some more higher level content. It is genuinely a journey of figuring out how you can make cash in this game. It doesn't need to be a hike though. I don't do it all the time. There's a lot of times and a lot of grinds that I do regularly that aren't gonna make me any money. It's just something that I'm just doing in the background. Like I'm working towards trim completion escape right now, and I probably will lose a lot of money buying the requirements for that. But that's okay. I'll end up trying to make the money back later. And sometimes now, just from flipping and from while I'm working on trim, I will make maybe 10 to 20 mil a day just by flipping. And that is my main source of income right now. Especially when I'm not like home, I'm not in my house right now. I'm on the road. I'm not able to do my regular activities because my internet connection is crap and this is all I got. So but hey, that's all I got for you today. Hope you learned something useful. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. Road to 10K. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Be sure to like the video too. If you could like it, that'd be awesome.